Hello folks, this is another game at Good Games Hobart from that Tassie Wargamer and John.
Hello.
John the Historian. We are doing Infamy Scenario 2, Escort Duty. We we did the table before either of us knew who would be doing what. We just find by setting the table ourselves it has a sort of a nice feel. So we've got the river running through the valley here, a road, single crossing. I rolled and am escorting a wagon. So some of my units have just started coming on now. I have got the same units as last week. So on the table already are my slingers. These two units here are representing my my recruit legionaries with an Optio. I have a wagon, which is actually from my Dark Age games, but I'm sure it'll suit. I'm also taking my Iberian cavalry again, and hopefully next time you see them, I'll also have my Numidian cavalry and my Roman cavalry completed. They're just about completed at home. I've got two more units, excuse them, they've fallen a little bit in transit, but I've got two more units of regular legionaries. And my Numidian skirmishers over in the back, yet to come on. John has got his usual multiple hordes of Germans.
Nearly all on.
So he's got, looks like he's got his Oath Sworn already on.
Yeah.
With a leader.
And I've got one.
Another horde here, another group here.
He's
got a big mob, including those Oath Sworn. He's got his archers on. I've just ordered some slingers, so John has been eagerly awaiting slingers. So once I've painted them up, he's going to be able to bring them on in a few weeks. And anything in here yet to come on, John?
Cavalry.
Oh, his cavalry, which are in a separate container. John will be bringing on his German cavalry soon. He's got the jump on me. I've only managed to get one unit on at the moment, and he's already massing. He's heard that we're on our way.
My herd?
His horde. His horde, we're on our way. I'm going to hopefully try to get over the bridge. I don't want that to be a choke point. Bear in mind, I could always move down the other side of the river. So we're going to have to agree at some point whether this is fordable. It'll probably be, I think, a major obstacle, or a wide obstacle, I'd say. Anyway, we'll keep you informed.
Us Germans are just bloody, little barbarian bastards.
You are, yeah. So all of our forces are now deployed. Unfortunately, my cart is stuck behind. There's a bit of a backlog. They've been coming out the wrong order, so I really got to get them moving, getting my skirmishers around. They've got over the bridge and they're going to go around maybe over to that hill. I shouldn't say it in front of John.
Really?
Trying to mobilise the rest of my skirmishers out in front. John has managed to cross the river with his cavalry here, and one of his mobs has moved up to the river. I suspect that he's going to be crossing it, and he's moving quite well. His archers that often cause me problems are sitting back a little bit today. They can't fire over the heads of his mob, so I'm not sure what they're up to.
Fine.
But I've got to get moving.
Leader 4.
So my cart is slowly getting over the bridge. I've hung back my one formation here to allow the cart to move through. I've moved my recruits. They've managed to get over the bridge. They're now in close formation and braced, so they're just going to a bit of defensive while the rest of the units catch up. My Numidians stepped out in the last turn, so they've really managed to put in some good footwork, hopefully to maybe just harass some of John's archers. My slingers, which were up here on the hill, and they put on some fire while John's guys were down here. We deemed, because there was impassable terrain between them, that they didn't have to evade while they were here. But once John's group came around the ramp and came up, they did evade. However, because they were almost both facing the same way, I evaded not far enough. John managed to get me in the rear, 3 kills. 3 points of shock. So my slingers, unfortunately, have been driven back I don't know if they're going to be able to rally enough to actually have any impact. If not, then my these guys here, which I'm sending out, they're going to have to be very careful that they don't also get charged in the rear. John has crossed the river here.
The Rubicon.
The Rubicon, and he's still got this mass here because he knows what his aim is, which is to stop my cart from escaping the table. In the balance, but certainly losing my slingers down here was a bit of a loss because I like them to harass. John has really caused some havoc over this side, as you saw before. He managed to get his cavalry to my my slingers. They've now bolted, which is leaving the rear of my main formation. A little bit of risk. That cart is just taking forever. I think I might have actually missed a roll for it, but that's my problem. Over here, my slightly better armoured Numidians up against John's archers are actually seen off by his archers in close combat. I've now managed to move to get away a little bit, but only having a supernumerary, it's going to be hard to rally that shock off there. These guys are doing okay here. Haven't into close combat yet though, and they're facing three groups there. My Iberian cavalry have crossed the river, so they can get to move over this side now. So maybe put a little bit of worry into John's mobs there. He's also sending another group down this little river passage here. While we're here, big shout out to Jack Sarge. John and I caught up with Jack Sarge yesterday for a coffee. We all live in Tasmania. Jack came down to Hobart for the day and we managed to catch up, had a really good yarn, talk about everything, including lots of wargaming stuff. So, Jack, great talking to you yesterday, mate.
When you are a red player in Infamy, this is not what you want to see on the board. All blue, and then Tempest Fugit. I've got nothing in my pocket, so I can't use any red flags. Basically, John's going to get the opportunity to move all of his units now, and I get no opportunity at all. So this could be a game breaker. It really is focusing in on here. John did close combat with that central group. My recruits here managed to throw him back. My regulars are now crossing with the cart. John has realised that he needs to get across, so he has just crossed the river using a full turn to cross. We couldn't find anything in the rules, so we've used the sharp practice rules of if you want to cross a river or a major obstacle, basically it's one entire move to get across. It may be in there, we just couldn't find it. His cavalry is sitting back a little bit. They may not have too much of an impact in the game. Very much like my slingers. My skirmishers have done okay just to hassle John's archers and take their focus away a little bit. Right. This is still where the game is going to be won or lost, right here. And over here, my cavalry is still waiting. Well, they have crossed the river, and they hopefully, this turn they were planning on it. Unfortunately, no luck for me.
I must be missing my leader somewhere because. Or has he gone back there?
That's in there. There he is. You put him back in there.
Okay.
So, in technical terms, scientifically, this is what they call a shit fight. This really was an ambush, even though it wasn't intended to by John originally. I've got my unit of recruits here, another one here. Rather than them fleeing, we decided that, because basically everything was blocked, they could have fled here, that they actually turned to face their enemy. Because John's other mob came charging in. That group there now has, 9 points of shock. They're still closed, they're still braced. There's my other group down to 4. Just the hordes, the number of figures John can pile on. And he was threatening me there with my cavalry, so my regulars had no option really at the time but to turn and face. However, I haven't been able to draw a card. The last round, as you saw, Tiffin came around and I didn't have, it was all blue that was drawn before Tiffin, Tempest Fugit, so I didn't even get the chance to use those. The only thing that's moved this round so far are my cavalry, hoping to put a little bit of
harassment onto here, but I think too little too late. Very much looking like a German loss, a Roman loss yet again.
Cavalry are going to move up to the river, and then they're going to throw their spears. Okay.
Yep.
So that's 3
Into my flank.
into your flank.
So in the closing action of the game, John is, as you can see, bringing his mounted warriors over to put some javelins into my mounted skirmishers. My last remaining group that's intact here, which are my main unit, which have really done bugger all game, have actually stepped out backwards, as they can do, being Roman, back across the bridge, activating the cart, which is now hurriedly trying to get across the bridge, telling them to get out the way, because they've realised that over that river was just this impenetrable wall of Germans. My skirmishers here got in and put a little bit of damage. I think he hit 2 or 3 guys. John rolled, it was his leader, rolled again, it was a 1, it reduced his leader to 0, and he was removed from the game. So finally we had something to affect John's force morale, but too little too late. It's going to be a big German victory. Not only have they stopped the Romans from progressing with their wine barrels, but they've put a lot of destruction, watching the Allies run away, my Numidians and my Balearic slingers, but also my recruits. That's all that's left of one of their groups, and the other group was destroyed. So really, these guys here probably just sat back a little too long and did bugger all.